I know a lot of people had a lot of big plans before the year started, and we all do the same thing. And next thing you know, you peek your head up and half of the year is over, which is crazy. I talked to Jamie a little bit earlier. I think she can kick the call off. She has a great idea of what we can do to really get things ramped up and get things moving. I don't see any reason at all why we can't triple the second half of the year from what we did the first half. I think the first half, a lot of moving pieces. Trey joined the group. Dom's been with the group. We got a lot of things going on with leads, but I feel like a lot of that now is behind us, and we figured out what we're going to do and how we're going to do it. So Jamie was going to come on, kick off the call with some great ideas she had. So I told her go ahead and start with tonight's call with what she thinks we should do to start off.
Well, I think a lot of times, sometimes it's just a matter of like getting back to basics, obviously you need to take a look at where you've been and where you're trying to go. And then, so you might need to make some carburetor adjustments, but sometimes it's just a matter of like, are you doing the basics every single week? Like, have you steered away from the basics? Because the basics are really what gets us to those next levels. Are we doing the basics 110%? And so a while ago, I created what I called the FFL success test. And so it was just 10 questions that each of you can take the test. I'm going to put it here in the chat. So just jump over to the chat. And, it says it's from Frank, but it's really from me. And so take the test. But I want to kind of go over some of these questions, because really this is like, you can grade yourself. That's the cool part about it. Like, we don't have to grade you, but you can grade you. And if you're not getting, an A+ or an A, even if you're like, I'm not really doing that thing, but I'm doing everything else, and you're still getting a 90 or whatever, okay, cool. Then maybe you just need to get on your manager's calendar and do a strategy call just to make some small minor adjustments, or to just take a look at, all right, this is where my numbers were. And then where can now I want my numbers to be here. This is what I need to do, or maybe this is what I have to incorporate. This is what lead strategy I need. This is what I maybe I'm not using my time wisely enough. But really the first thing is just, are we starting every day on a positive note? Like, are you starting your day with a gratitude journal, with prayer, whatever you do, working out? Like, if you're not starting your day with in a positive mode, trust me, the smallest things can get you all out of whack. And so you need to make sure that you are starting your day. And maybe you put a notification on your calendar, as your alarm that says, wake up, start with positivity. Or maybe it's next to your phone at nighttime before you go to bed, so that way in the morning when you grab your phone, it's there. Or maybe the first thing you do is go to the bathroom. So maybe it's like by the toilet. I don't know. Whatever it is, but you have to get yourself into a programmable manner of starting your day in a positive mood. Because if not, this business, you could look at your phone in 30 seconds and got a charge back, and all of a sudden you're mad. Or some agent that left a while ago rolled you some, $2,000. Now you're all mad for the rest of the day. And you had your day set up that you were going to kill it. And you have families that are waiting to be protected, and their families who are waiting for you to protect their family. And so starting the day with this negativity, or listen, we all have stuff. We all bleed the exact same color. Just because one person has more money, or one person has a bigger bank, or one person's better looking, whatever the case may be, or one person lives in a place you would love to live, that doesn't matter. We all have problems. We all have things. Sometimes my problem might be bigger than yours, and maybe I got more money. Because trust me, they say more money, more problem. Everybody has stuff. If you have a teenager, you probably gonna have some problems, right? If you own a home, you're probably gonna have problems. So guys, you can allow those little problems to deviate you off of track, or you can get those things set. Just, you know what? I can't control that, but I can control my attitude. I can control how I handle that and how I react to whatever that situation is. So get yourself every day starting in a positive manner, because I'm telling you, what you speak, you believe. It doesn't matter whatever you tell yourself, you will start to believe. And so you might as well tell yourself some positive things. Do you warm up before you get on the phones? I think sometimes we're just going through the mundane. We're rushing around. We're like, oh crap, I got up late. Shoot, I forgot to grab this. Man, I forgot my coffee. I didn't make one. I got to grab a coffee. Now I'm running late. It's like, guys, can we just leave some space in between? where we can get those warm-ups in, where we can listen. If you're playing in the Super Bowl, you're not just going out there and just, starting the game. You're not. There's a whole warm-up process. I love that Netflix thing that was called Quarterback, because I can relate with those people, just like this business, this preparation that takes place before the big game. Every day should be your big game. What is your preparation like? What is your thing? Do you set your pen the same way on the desk? Do you have your monitor up the same way? Do you sit, have your like it's very methodical. It's very like orchestrated. And so what is your system? Get yourself warmed up so you're ready to play the game at the highest level. This thing pays really, really, really well for those people who are prepared and ready to go. If you're just always like, not ready, not, have your leads ready, or, you're just like always like flailing out. It's not that it's not going to work, because a broken clock is right twice a day. But guys, you could be taking this thing to the next level just based on preparation alone. So making sure that you're warmed up and ready to go. Positive affirmations. This might be part of that gratitude thing. They can go hand in hand, but like, I'm talking specific affirmations, specific to do with you and your business and the next level. I'm amazing at this business. Every person I talk to is waiting for me and relying on me to help their family. I'm awesome at the phones. I'm awesome at my presentation. Any negative voice that you have that's going on in your head, you can flip that sucker to a positive in a minute. If you think the leads are bad, say these leads are amazing. If you think you're bad at the phones, I'm amazing at the phones. You continuously tell yourself these things, and next thing you know, you start to believe it, and your belief is almost like a foundation of this big thing that's occurring in your world. So speak life into your business. Speak life into your daily habits. It works. You think it's corny? I promise you, I was terrible on those phones. Frank will be laughing at me. I'm talking to myself all morning long, looking at myself right in the mirror, like, Jamie, you are amazing at this. You better start believing you are amazing at this. You are amazing. And I would just speak life. And next thing I know, it just started working for me. And it can for you too. Stop listening to the negative junk that you're telling yourself. You are listening to you. So speak life into the things that you want to happen, the fruit that you want of the outcome that you're looking to accomplish. The next thing, number 4, is, are you dialing with the team? Guys, dialing with the team is fire. Like, I'm on there some days and I'm listening, like, or I send somebody over there, I'm like, oh my God, I was just listening to, whoever, Dom, or I heard so-and-so, or when you get on, Jacob's sitting there and on the side says, don't be a B word. And they're like, we're laughing. But guys, this is where, like, let's get back to the basics. What happened with just dialing with the team? What happened to accountability? Even if you're not unmuted or whatever, because you're like, I don't really, maybe you think you don't need it anymore, but maybe somebody needs you. Or maybe it's just a matter of like accountability, period. This is my check-in every single day. Check in. That's all it's all, it's just like, treat this like a job, and it will pay you like an executive times 10. But you are just treating it so freely. I think about, like, the other day when we traveled, and it was a very long flight, and we went to somewhere where, like, Frank's family came from. And I thought about his grandfather, who took a boat to America, a boat. And to think we took a flight that was 8 hours in a comfy seat, so nice, they're treating us so well, giving us food, all this stuff. And he took a boat here because we have all the stuff. We live in America today, Memorial Day. People are here fighting for us to be safe and secure in this country. And we're taking this thing for granted as if it's just like this free, whimsical thing that doesn't treat us the way it does. Are you kidding me? There are people doing things right now that you and I would never do. I'm never uprooting my family and going across to another country to fight in a war. No, I'm not doing that. And so sometimes we just take, like, picking up the phones and just doing just this little stuff is so like it's like nonchalantly, like we don't take it serious. This is serious. This thing pays seriously, and we are serving families seriously. And so why don't we wake up every day treating it just like that? Treating like, you know what? We have an opportunity of a lifetime here, and we're treating this thing as if it's just like, I don't know, like it's not a big deal. Start treating this thing as if it's a big deal, because it can be huge to your family, to your family's family, to your grandkids for years and years and years to come if you just start taking it seriously. So jump in the live dials, be held accountable for the rest of the year. Just say, you know what? That's it. I'm being held accountable. I'm jumping in live dials, and whatever that means to you. Maybe it's in a breakout room. Maybe you're like, you know what? I'm really good on the phones, and I've been keeping that thing a secret. And so, you know what? I'm going to let some people listen to me. Or, you know what? I'm really sucking on the phones, and I've been over here hiding in the corner, whining and complaining to myself. And you know what? I'm not going to do that anymore. Today's my day. I'm not doing that anymore. I'm getting on live dials, letting somebody help me. And next week, I'm going to be just better, period. And so make that commitment. Number 5, be prepared for your day. Don't like we were just talking about just a few minutes ago. If you forgot your coffee or you forgot to start every day being ready and prepared. Have your leads ready. Is your schedule tight for the whole month? It's like, oh, well, I was supposed to start at 8, but I really did. It's like, stop. No more excuses. No more excuses as to why your schedule is not working out for you. The only reason your schedule is not working out is because you did not prepare properly to have a schedule that works out for you. Period. There's no other reason. Nobody has that many things going on in their life that they can't actually have a schedule that they can stick to. Because if you went and had a job somewhere, guess what? They're going to tell you what your schedule is going to look like. And you're going to abide by it, just like a happy camper. Why not abide by your schedule that you created and be a happy camper? So abide by the schedule that you said that you were going to do. And trust me, this thing just starts to get easier when you just start to do these little things, I promise. Know your drop dead goal every single day and don't stop until you do it. So many people are quitting so early. It's like, what? You didn't even come close to your goal for the last 3 days. And we're, do whatever it takes. Whatever it takes. Do you even know what your goal is? Go over your goal with your manager. Put it out there for people to know what they are so they can actually maybe hold you accountable a little bit or hold yourself accountable. Maybe you put yourself in a group with a couple people, say, hey guys, listen, I've screwed the pooch here. I messed up. Here's what I want to do. Here's my goals. And please, by God, I'm going to help myself be held accountable. I'm going to report every single day what my goals are, because you know what? My life, my family deserves something better than I'm not giving them. My spouse, she's wondering or he's wondering why I'm not putting the money in the bank. And it's all because I'm just not doing these little things here. And I'm done with that. Today's my day. So make sure that you have a drop dead goal. It's non-negotiable. You're not stopping and make it one that's, for instance, you can control how much activity that you do. You can't necessarily control how much people are going to spend. So you don't have to put I'm going to do $5,000 every single day. How about we just say, I'm going to do 8 to 10 presentations a day, right? Because we can control little things like this. Let's get ourselves some small wins so then we can build off of those wins. We can't necessarily control how much each person's going to spend, but we can control how many presentations that we're going to do. So let's just break it down into pieces that we can chew on, that we can build off of to get small wins, okay? Are we tracking everything? Track everything. Tracking our dials, tracking our presentations, tracking what time we start, what time we stop, how many contacts, how many number of follow-ups do we have, how many applications did we collect, how much did we spend on leads, how much did we get in deposits, how much premium did we submit. Track everything and keep that data so you know how to layer up and get to the next level. If you don't have any data, it's like kind of going to the Target or Walmart or whatever. If they didn't have the data to track, I swear my Walmart here, which is like a super Walmart, which is like the closest thing like a grocery store to where we live. I swear they did not have a person tracking the data. On Tuesdays, they were fresh out of everything. I'm like, who's doing the data here? Because you don't even have noodles, pasta noodles. And so it's like, but that's how we all kind of act sometimes, right? We're like, oh, I don't know. Well, I'm not getting anyone to answer. I'm like, anyone? Well, how many is anyone? Well, I only talked to 3. Well, that's cool. But how many dials did you do? We need to know all the data so we know how we can help you. But if you're not collecting your data, you're going to tell yourself it's the worst scenario. When really the data might prove to you that it's not even that bad of a scenario. You just didn't have more activity, or you just didn't have enough leads, or maybe you just didn't have enough hours that you were spending. It's usually the data gives you a very clear idea of the facts. And our minds and our brains will tell us false things every single day as long as we allow it. But if we have the facts in front of us, we can't deviate. You can't discount the facts. So track all of your data and then share that with someone who's at a different level than you, so they can help you get to the next level that you are trying to achieve. Listen, we're all running a different race here. And it doesn't matter if you're running this race or that race, or you're running a race that you just want to be a producer, or you run a race that you want to build an agency, or you want to run a race that you want doing a $200,000 agency or $1 million agency. We want to help you run the race that you want to run, but we can't help you without any data. And so we need the data so we can help you execute whatever it is that you're trying to execute, and to come up with a strategy that you can achieve. So that's number 7. Number 8 is, do you have all of your scripts and objections mastered? So many people are like just flying by the seat of their pants when it comes to like a script. It's like, dude, if you're using a different kind of lead, how about you master the script that goes with that lead? I mean, if you're gonna get punched in the face and pummeled if you're saying the wrong thing. The good news is all of our scripts are like, the first 12 seconds is what matters the most. We're not asking you to master some sort of, I don't know, Golden Globe winning performance. It's like, just master the first 15 seconds. Like, can we just get that piece mastered? And then once we have that mastered, can we just master like the 3 most common objections? We don't have to master all of them, because when you have the first 3 mastered, it kind of works for the rest of them. Even if you mess up, it's okay. But let's just take this chunk by chunk and master these pieces. You would never, ever want your cardiologist, if you had heart problems, to just be really like lackadaisical about the surgery they were about to perform on you. Why would you treat this any differently? You can be paid like a cardiologist. So why in the world would you treat the script, which is one of the most important things that you have to execute, as if it's no big deal? You're not even trying to practice it. When you master something, you have done it over and over and over and over and over and over again until you can't get it wrong. Would you want a cardiologist not doing that on your heart? Of course not. So while you're driving, while you're getting ready, while you're in the shower, while you're going to the bathroom, while you're cooking dinner, while you're taking the kids to school, practice the script, get it mastered. It only gets mastered by doing it over and over and over again until it becomes ingrained in your brain and comes out of your mouth just as fluid as it went in or you heard it. So master the script and master the common objections. Number 9 is, are you dialing your leads the FFL way? So many people just grab a batch of leads and they call through those suckers once or twice and they're like, yeah, I didn't get anything. I'm like, okay, how did you dial them? Did you dial them the FFL way? If I looked at your dial tracker, which I'm not going to, but if I looked at your actual tracker on your phone, would you have dialed them once, dialed them twice, and that was it? That's not the FFL way. So many people get so nervous about doing that 3rd dial and then starting over and then dialing 2 times in a row, dialing 2 times in a row, then starting back up. Why? I can tell you, I've dialed over 30,000 appointments, 30,000. And I can't, to this day, as I'm sitting here in front of you on Memorial Day in 2024, not one person has affected my life today. Maybe they've cussed me out. Maybe they told me they're not interested. Maybe they said that I'm a nasty person. Maybe they said to this day, right now, it has not affected my life. So why would anyone allow it to affect their lives for 30 seconds after they hang up? Because it's not going to affect your life in 3 years. It's not going to affect your life in 13 years. So don't let it affect your life in 30 seconds after you hang up. Keep it moving. Hang up, dial it again. So if you don't know the FFL way, we can cover that another time. It's a video inside of training camp. It's on our hub, all the things. But make sure you're dialing your leads the FFL way. And then number 10, stay accountable every single day with what you said that you were going to do. If you said you were going to be on dials at 8 a.m., be on dials at 8 a.m. If you said you were going to be in the office at 9 a.m., be in the office at 9 a.m. If you said that you were going to, do whatever it took to make sure that you help 10 families a month, do that. But please just be accountable. Be accountable to your family, be accountable to your goals, be accountable to your finances, be accountable to the debt that you said you were going to pay off, be accountable to the manager who's been taking your calls endlessly and pouring into you and answering you at 9, 10 o'clock at night and helping you whenever you ask for. Why can't we just be accountable to all of that? And next thing you know, you will pick your head up in 90 days and be like, dang, all right, I got this thing. This thing is for me. This thing is going to change my life financially. This thing is going to change next year's trajectory on what it is that I can accomplish here at Family First Life. But it starts with these little stupid things that you didn't think were a big deal when you did training camp. You didn't think it was a big deal when your manager said to do it. You didn't think it was a big deal when you heard that one video. They all are big deal. It is a big deal. All of these little things are a big deal. And so take the test. Your manager will get your manager, and then schedule a call to go over a strategy with your manager so he or she can help you get to the next level for the rest of the year. There is so much left in 2024. Yes, we are halfway through, but there is an abundance of time that you can absolutely kill it for the remainder of this year. Don't underestimate what you can do for the rest of the year. So that was what I got.
I think we're done. Well, everyone, let's do what Jamie said, and let's absolutely crush it the rest of the year.
Great call.
Dom, you up?
Woo. Love Jimmy.
Hey, can you hear me, dude?
I can hear you, Dom.
All right, Jamie. I just there's really nothing else to say on that front. Okay, because the last thing you said was that there is still time, and I think as an entrepreneur, you always got to believe that. I don't care what time of the year it is, where you're at. Like, you've always got to believe that, like, this is it. And to give you some, I guess, inspiration. All right. This is a time to where, coming into summer, that this is where you can really set yourself apart from a lot of other entrepreneurs that naturally fall behind the next 4 or 5 months. Okay. I like that we're having this call, a month or, before, you know what I mean? That 6 months is even over with. So you can actually make a change now to prepare for the last half of the, like, a lot of the, if it was up to me, you'd be like, oh, we'd be talking about this. And like next week would be like, oh, the start of this, like the second half of the year. You'd be like, well, I don't even have any time to make any adjustments. Like, this is all about preparation. All right. So let me give you some pitfalls over the next few months. Okay. A lot of you guys have kids. They're getting ready to get out of school or just got out of school. Okay. You may or may not have some vacations that you have set up. Great. Okay. But make sure that all of your production and things that you have are lined up around those things. Have a ball, enjoy yourself, but be clear, if you don't have all those things lined up and you're in your first year, you're grinding it out, which I love. Be mindful of what you can do and what you should be doing, because if you're in that first 9 months to 12 months, you can have some really good months. You may just come off your best month, right? And you think, well, let me acquire some things, okay? And then that may lead to you taking some time off I'm telling you, these little small things will add up. So what Jamie's talking about, checking in with your manager, having this meeting, honestly will just help you build that relationship so that you will feel comfortable to go, hey man, I'm thinking about doing X, Y, or Z. Where I'm at in the business, would you recommend I do that? What would you do if it's like, when you have that type of relationship with the person you're working with, it saves you so much. You know how many times I've asked Sean for permission to do something? Never, ever. But there's been many times where I've been like, hey man, I'm checking my thinking, and what would you do if you're like, how would you do this? He'd be like, no, I would definitely not do that, but it's totally up to you. Sometimes I did it anyways. Sometimes it doesn't mean he was right all the time, or you have open lines of communication with the people you're working with and make an adult decision. Does that make sense? So just know over these next few months, there's going to be things that you got to keep your head on a swivel about, but you also want to keep your production up. Okay, because I hear everybody come September, well, you know, my kids are going back to school, I'm gonna get back on the horse. Don't let that be your story.
Yeah. There's always be
Okay,
something.
like, yeah, don't let that be your story, because I don't hear that from Hall of Famers.
Mm-mm.
Okay, and everybody here has a choice to make. Do I want to make that happen? So but great preparation in this call, you guys. Jamie, great stuff. And I think this is what this is all about, is just knowing what's ahead. And the best thing that we can give you, I mean, folks that have been here longer than 3, 4, 5 years, is perspective. Is, hey, don't step here. You're going to get blown up. Makes sense? So appreciate you guys having me on.
Thanks, Dom. Marissa, you on?
Yes, I am. Thank you so much for having me on. That's a lot to come back from. First of all, Jamie, you crushed it, and you crushed it as well, just in a different sector. One thing I do just want to hit on, while we're all kind of thinking about our goals and going into the second half of the year, when I first kind of stepped into Family First Life from my practice company, this is back in 2019 now, guys, mind you. There's a reason I'm bringing this up, so rock with me. I moved to the middle of nowhere. I'm from Boston, which is a city, for folks that don't know. I moved to the middle of nowhere, Massachusetts, right? Like, I had no friends, no family, but I was closer to the office in Connecticut. It was really important for me. I knew at that time in the field, on Mondays and Thursdays, I needed to be in that office, or it was not going to look good for me. I wasn't going to play myself. And I remember there was a call, and Jamie was on it specifically. And she said, she was talking about affirmations. And she said, what do you guys, everyone affirms something to themselves every single day. What are you affirming to yourself, right? And that's something I had to sit back, because in that time I was in a growth mindset. So I thought, I was, 24-ish, give or take. But my point is I was trying to actually get better and go to the next level in my life, so to say. And I'm like, maybe I really need to take these things serious. I woke up, guys, I have the same 15 affirmations that I say every single morning. And most of them were on that list that Jamie had. Like, I am great on the phones. People cannot wait to speak to me. Everyone I talk to today is going to be thankful. I'm thankful I'm in the position that I'm in. When you operate with that type of attitude, your whole day goes different. Like, just like Jamie said, like, no one can mess her day up, because her mind space is clear. Like, she knows where she's at. She's good. She understands who she is, and that's who she's showing up for. So anyone out there that thinks like, oh, affirmations don't work, like, I attest to this. Like, your morning routine, your affirmations are going to make or break who you are as a person. What you tell yourself about yourself is really strong. So going into the second half of the year, I challenge everybody on this call, including myself. What are some things that we can tell ourselves in a nicer way? What are some things we got to cut out so we can tell ourselves that nice thing? What are some things that we shouldn't be telling ourselves at all, right? Because Trey Honeycutt also taught me, if you're consistent at something, you might not be, you can be like, I'm not consistent, but you're consistently doing the right thing, essentially, or you're consistently doing the wrong thing, but you're always consistently doing something. So going into the second half of the year, check in with yourself. 3 questions Sean Mike asked me, and I ask myself every month: where are you at now? Where do you want to be? What are you willing to give up to get there? You can answer those 3 questions, and you can be honest with yourself, and to take a step above that, your mentor, just like Dom was saying, that wants to help you get to that level, it's going to help propel you forward. But you have to start being honest with yourself. So that's kind of what I got. Thank you guys so much. You guys crushed it.
Love it. Trey?
Well, that was incredible. I mean, we could have got off when Jamie was done. When she was speaking to me, I'm like, did somebody have a conversation with Jamie about all the things I'm struggling with in my life? Did you just tailor that just for me? So the thing, and all y'all were honestly awesome, but I think we all felt the same way like 15 minutes into it.
I agree.
But the thing I would want everybody to take away from this is just be really observant of what you have to leverage to build this thing, because this team is different than any team in FFL. For those that were around, this feels a lot like 2016. Like, when we figured it out, we all locked arms and we started growing. And I mean really growing, like 10xing, 20xing, massive momentum. And there was very little ego. It was a team sport. Nobody cared whose team somebody was on. Everybody was helping everybody, and we were all speaking the same language. And inside this group, FFL National and Coast to Coast, we have something to point to in the second part of the year that nobody else really has. And I'm not hating on nobody. I love everybody. But if I'm taking a 30,000-foot view of what I see, nobody works together like we work together. Nobody has the systems like we have. Nobody's willing to help each other like we have. Nobody has harder working people on the team that are willing to help people that aren't even on their team like we have. Nobody has calls with the attendance that we have. Nobody has, and if you have people in class, we shouldn't be inviting these people to these calls. This business is about belief. Belief enables action. And my whole story in FFL was like Sunday night, I was ready to quit for like 5 years. So, but I'd get on the call on Monday and I'd be good to go for another 5 days. Like, think about all the people that are thinking about getting their license. They're in class. They're waiting for the license to come back. We should promote to those people on a regular basis and bring them into the fold. The number one skill set that you have to build this big is the skill set of including people, bringing them into the fold, letting them find their place, letting them find people that they relate to, and then doing the business together. And so we have all the tools to do that with the CRM that we use, with just File and Jamie, knowing how to make the CRM do what it's supposed to do, to these calls, to the simple retirement solution call, to all the different people succeeding at different aspects of the business, to the dial teams with everybody working together and having a schedule of this person's dialing this hour and that person's dialing this hour, and knowing that you can send people to it and they're going to hear people dial. And then everybody having that same mindset of, hey, we're on there dialing, but when we see new people, our goal is to get those new people to dial. So let's all rally around that. If Bob's on the call, we know he's new because we're there every day. We should be like, Bob, you should call. Do you have your script? Go ahead. Go, Bob, go. It's not just about the accountability of us doing it or cheering on Hall of Fame producers. It's about bringing people with us. And so we have all the tools to do that. So that's the thing I would say that I think will propel us in the next part of the year is learning to leverage what we have, speak the same language, and sell and promote what we have. Mike does it incredibly well, promoting our system, talking about the numbers and what we can and can't post on social media. We can post anything on social media as long as it's what's the right word? As long as it's I can't think of what the word is, but we can't say everybody can get rich, but as long as we put context around it.
Mm-hmm.
KG worked all day. Most people are lazy. She's not. She helped 11 families today. That's context, right? So, and that's attractive, and people are attracted to that. People are attracted to the environment. People are attracted to the movement. People are attracted to the training that's in place. People are attracted to the people that are in the trenches with them. So that's what I have to say. And I'm super excited to be here with you guys, and I'm trying to get better. And I know you guys will hold me accountable, and I'm going to be accountable. I'm going to get better, and I'm going to start saying some really exciting things to myself so that I show up warmed up. Like I walk out on the field and pull the hamstring like 3 calls in. I was like, crap, should have practiced some, you know? So I'm going to start doing that. Start doing that today, actually. Start doing it right now as soon as we get off this call. So thanks for having me on. I appreciate it. Mike, back to you.
That's awesome, man. Well, I'll wrap up. Is Frank on here or did Frank jump on a plane, Jane? Is he on?
No, he's already boarded, I think.
He already boarded? Well,
Yeah.
I'll wrap up. I mean, I was Trey with you. I was ready to jump off the call as soon as Jamie spoke. One thing about Jamie, it doesn't matter. Even me, and I've been doing this now for 9 years, I'll think something is bad and I'll say something to Jamie and she'll flip it and make you all of a sudden say, oh, it's not that bad. It just changes everything. And when you think things aren't going good, it really has so much to do with the people that you speak with around you. So if you're not speaking to people that turn things around and make you see the positive in everything that's going on around you, then you're not speaking to the right people. You know, I've now been doing this for 9 years. And I remember when I first started, I thought it was very weird to be in here on Memorial Day or working 4th of July, or, you know, the only thing that I really look at as a holiday is Thanksgiving, Christmas and Easter. Every other day is not a holiday. You know, we'll be here on the 4th of July. We'll be here on the next holiday. But there's so many people, like you can see our attendance is by less than half. And it's unfortunate because so many of those people don't realize the importance or what this business can do for their family. And I think until that clicks for you, then it's truly not part of you and you're not going to make that change. But being part of such an amazing team now that we have, well, Dom's been part of the team for a while. Now we got Trey and Marissa. We've got so many amazing people on the team. I think right now is the easiest time than ever to recruit and to build. I do nothing but say Dominique Rogers' name like a million times a day when I'm trying to recruit. I say Marissa's name like a million times. All I do is say Trey Honeycutt's name all day long. I say how amazing Jamie Euphemia is at training. Recruiting and bringing people into this group is honestly the easiest thing to do in the world. And if you realize what you have and you truly start to take advantage of it, things will begin to change for you immediately. And I talk about all the time about when I initially came here. You know, I talk about how when I got here, I had filed like a $1 million bankruptcy. So when I talk to people about getting some roll up or getting some chargebacks, I always put that in perspective. I think, man, if I only had $100,000 in debt, how different my life would have been 9 years ago. You know, so I put all those things in perspective and I realized that it all has come from this business and we all have the same exact opportunity. We all are now part of the same team. And the things that we have available here, I'm with Trey, I think we're the best group in the entire company. We have the ability to more than double this thing, even if we don't bring in another agent. But none of that can happen until people's belief level rises and realize what they have in front of them. And until everyone does that, we'll kind of just sit here. But we have the ability right now to explode this thing. I think we could triple the second half of the year over what we did the first half because of everything that we have in place. I think the beginning of the year was all practice. We went through a lot of different things. There's so many amazing things that are getting ready to take place that everyone's business has the ability to explode. But the first thing that it starts with is with the belief in not only the system, but belief in yourself. And once everyone begins to do that, we can take this thing to the next level. We can be exactly where FFL was when they started 10 years ago. This group alone can do the same exact thing. And everyone has the ability to be part of it, but you have to believe what you have in front of you. And until everyone does that, your business is going to sit there. But I am one to tell you that being part of this group, we have something that no one else has. Everyone has the ability to explode this thing. It's now time for all of us to take advantage of what we have. And let's take this thing to the next level because we all have the ability to do it. So that's all I got. Anyone else want to wrap up with anything? Jamie, Trey, Dom, Marissa? Let's go. All right, guys. We'll see you guys next week. Hope to see you guys in Vegas, who's ever going there. Let's absolutely crush it for the rest of this year. We'll see you guys next week. The dial team.fflall.com tomorrow is the beginning of that. I think that is absolutely going to be a game changer. I can't wait to see what's going to happen when people start jumping in one dial room and we start working even closer as a team. Talk to you guys later.